What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a vlog style video, mainly because I'm going to be working on the front brakes of my Mazda B2000, and I already did a video on how to change that stuff, so it doesn't make sense for me to repeat all that stuff. Instead, I can link you guys here on the top. You guys can check out that video if you want to know how to do it. Otherwise, we are just going to kind of run through some of these things here on the Mazda B2000. I did that stuff on my B2200. I don't have that truck anymore. Honestly, back then, I probably should have done it on this truck and install all new parts. And that way, I wouldn't have to be doing that job again. But live and learn. I guess what else can you do? Otherwise, I do have a couple more small changes here in the garage. Some small things here on the truck that I don't remember if I did a video on them at all. And then I'll also show you the parts that I'm installing today, even though I'm not going to do a how-to on that. But you guys can find them down in the description as well if you want to look and get some parts to do on your truck. Without further ado though, let's jump right into it. Alright guys, and here we are looking at the parts we're going to be installing today. We got some new John, brand new, or actually I think they're rebuilt calipers. They look very good. They've been cleaning everything. We are going to go ahead and paint them. Initially I was going to go with a white, or I wanted to go with a white, but to get a proper white caliper you would have to ceramic coat this. And because they've been rebuilt, they're ready to install. I just don't want to take them apart. So we are just going to go with a classic red. We're going to mask all this stuff, paint it, get it nice and red hopefully, and then put them on the truck. And then when it comes to the rotors and pads, they're just from the daily driver category from Rock Auto. Again, I got all of this from Rock Auto. They usually have the best pricing when it comes to some of this stuff. So nothing crazy here, just basically OEM replacement type stuff. All right guys, and a couple other updates, just very slight updates here inside the truck. This is my NRG Matsuri steering wheel. As far as I know, this particular color has been discontinued, the nice and clear one. The downside of it is, as you know, anything that's clear and everything, it just tends to get a little bit yellow. So that's the only thing I'm waiting on, and it's going to be a shame when that happens. Outside of that though, it looks awesome. I love this steering wheel. It basically matches my shift knob down there, which is nice and clear as well. This is the horn button, which looks awesome as well. I really like it. It took me a while to find it because, like I said, it was discontinued, and I actually ended up buying it from someone here locally, which really helped my case because I did not want to spend $300 or so that they were asking for. This one's a little crazy. And then the only other change in here has been a set of floor mats down there. These are actually custom fitted for the Mazda. Big shout out to my buddy Grant. I got them thanks to him. So they are, yeah, just rocking and rolling there. And real briefly, before we jump into the truck, I just wanted to show you guys, I added my whole collection of Hot Wheels. I've been keeping these things, I think, probably since majority are 2012, 2013, maybe some 2011s. I also had my little Mazdas here, and this one was just a placeholder here because we have the silver Mazda Repu, the white one, and then I just got my red one. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. This is the closest we can get to the Mazdas on the Hot Wheels, and who knows, man, maybe I'll add some black wheels to mine and we'll be as close match to this as we can. So we're gonna add that in here nice and tight with my other Mazda pickups. So we are looking good. And yeah, like I said, just a bunch of random ones. We also added my little electric forest flag. I went to this festival this year. It was awesome. Very dirty and dusty, but outside of that, we are ready to start getting the truck up in the air, taking the wheels off, and start taking some of these things apart, and also go out there and start painting these calipers so they can get dry and everything by the time we're ready to swap them out. So let's get to work. All right guys, so I'm getting ready to take off my wheel, and one thing I did want to talk about, if you guys know any good lug nuts, like good lug nuts, let me know down in the comments which ones you guys are using. I've been using the 6-speed since 2016, and honestly I love them. They're very good, but the bad thing about them is that it looks like they moved on to this 3-piece style, which I'm not a big fan of. I like this style, single piece, has been good. If you guys know any good ones, let me know in the comments. What are you guys using? Which ones do you guys like? I would like to look at other options out there, again, just because I'm not a big fan of the 3-piece style, and it seems like 6-speed is only doing 3-piece at this moment. Another thing too that happened is I changed my oil not too long ago, and you can kind of see there's a little puddle there. It looks like I'm licking some through the bolt on the oil pan, and I think the reason might be because I did use a new washer style in there. I realized that the washers from my Tacoma fit into this truck, so I tried it on there, and either I didn't tighten it enough, being a dummy, or the washer is leaking regardless of how tight it is. So I'm gonna have to fix that, and I'm hoping it's just I didn't tighten it enough, because I'd rather not drop that oil and have to go and get some new one. But if I do need to do that, then I'll have to do that. Yeah, because it's brand new Rotella T6 oil in there, and I'd rather not waste it. But all right, so we got the wheels off the truck and everything there is pretty much ready to start getting them bolted. But before I do that, like I said, I want to paint the calipers for this truck. I want to make them red. And I started here masking off all my brand new caliper. One caliper is good to go. We have another one right now waiting to be masked off as well. And then I can take them outside and start painting them. Where is my paint? I think it's somewhere over there. I'm going with the Rust-Oleum red one. It looked good, had good reviews. I used the duplicolored one before and the paintbrush at least, and it was good. Like I said, I just wanted to try something new, I guess, and we'll see how this one turns out. All right, everyone, and we got our calipers nice and masked off now, so we should be good. Oh, actually, I forgot to do this side. I need to do that one, but after that one, we should be good to take this outside and start painting them. And I went with the Rust-Oleum caliper paint. I never used this exact paint before, but the reviews seem good. It is a nice and gloss red. Again, if it is the color of the cap, which is a little bit less than gloss red, that's fine too. It's just gonna be for the calipers, and I think this is as close as we're gonna get with just off-the-shelf paint. It should bring a little bit of pop right behind the wheels. With this particular wheels, it's kind of hard to see the caliper anyways, but if we do happen to see it, we should see just a nice little red bit in there. So I think we are looking good. So we are gonna take this outside and start painting. Let's do it. Check it out, guys. We are pretty much done here with the calipers. They came out pretty good, honestly, for all things considered. Just some time spending kind of masking this off and just a quick rattle can job. Honestly, this did pretty well. It came on and sprayed pretty nicely. It seems to be a pretty good color, so I'm kind of happy with the results right now. We're gonna leave them out here in the heat. It is super hot right now in Texas. I think it's 100 or something like that, so it's basically an oven out here. So honestly, I think it took longer for me to mask this off than it did for it to dry to the touch. So we're just gonna leave them out here, make sure they get nice and dry, and then we'll continue putting them on the truck a little bit later. Let's do it. All right, guys, it is now the next day, and the calipers should be pretty much good to go. They are nice and dry to the touch now. We can move them around. They actually came out pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with the color in this. I'll link in the bottom. The caliper paint that I'm using is by Rust-Oleum, so it's actually pretty good so far. I did get a little bit of overspray right here on the bottom. I got a little lazy with the masking back here, but it's nothing that should affect anything. Like I said, it's very slight overspray, I guess, from one of the angles I might have been doing. So that shouldn't be a problem. Now what we're gonna do is we are gonna move on to the truck, start removing the old stuff in there, and then start putting the new things in place. And it's also actually gonna be a great time for me to add my brake shield, because for some reason, ever since I bought this truck, I never had a brake dust shield on the driver's side, and I do have one right here. So again, perfect timing for me to add this on where it needs to go, so that way this is looking like factory and like the passenger side. So all right, guys, so we have removed now the brake and rotor here. I want to call out attention to something. Like I said, I didn't have my brake shield in here, which is what I have here on the side now. If you don't have yours, you might want to put them on, because the way the brake shield is in this truck, it kind of acts also as a bit of a shield to dirt and grime and all this stuff here, as you can tell. And that is going to protect your wheel bearings and everything. As you can see here, you can kind of see dark. Even here on the top, you can kind of see dark. All that red is the grease that I put on, the new grease that I had put on the last time I did the change. And on the passenger side is actually nice and red, and I'll show you guys here in a bit that one. But on this side, you can kind of see the black and everything. You see the red still, but you're starting to see that dirt getting in here as well as here. And I think last time I did my wheel bearings, I only did them on the passenger side. So I actually might just do this driver's side now that I'm all here anyways, and get it all done, so that way the driver's side is also all nice and new as well. And then now that we put this brake shield here, we're all gonna be nice and protected from that dirt all around. So we're not gonna have this dirty grease anymore in here. I'm gonna clean this up as well. I might have to run to the store and buy a little bit of grease just because I don't think I have any left in here. So let's get to work. All right, y'all, and here we are on the passenger side, and this is the culprit. This is the one that's giving us problems. You can kind of see the spins, but it does rub there a little bit. It doesn't get locked up all the time. It just seems like it does hit every once in a while. All right, guys, so here on the passenger side, we have removed the pads and everything, and then right off the bat, you can tell that's exactly where we're getting that burning smell. This was getting stuck in the caliper for some reason, into the rotor itself. It was burning all the edge of it. That's what was smoking. Over here too, you can kind of see there's a darker spot here in the middle. Don't mind those scratches, that was from me actually taking it off. But you can see in here, it's like a little darker, and then again burning along the edge of it. So this side definitely needed to be replaced pretty bad. So we're gonna swap everything at the same time. Check it out, guys, and just to give you a little bit of reference, here is the passenger side. You can see we have nice and red grease all throughout. There's a little bit of black, I guess, or dark grease here, and that's just because I try to remove as much as I could out of here, the all grease and all that, but obviously I'm sure I left a little bit in there, which is what you're seeing just right on the stop area. And it's mostly shadowed too as well here because my lighting is on this side, but it's looking good here. On the passenger side, like I said, the caliper was the main culprit. We don't have to remove anything else in here because this is the side I did when I did my wheel bearings. So if you want to check out that video, I'll link you guys on the top. But this one, we're just going to remove the rotor. And just like that, this is looking almost basically brand new. We have a caliper here. Went with the Rust-Oleum caliper paint, and honestly, the results are pretty awesome. They looks great here on the camera, probably a little more vibrant than it is. But I mean, it's a pretty damn good match, I would say. And brand new rotor. Since I hadn't done my wheel bearing replacement on this side, when I did them on my other video, I just did them on the passenger side. I figured might as well do this on this side. And I gotta say, if you're gonna start one side, do the other side at the same time, because again, this just made me take longer when it comes to this whole process, just because I was replacing basically everything on this. But we have our new brake shield here on the back as well, so everything is looking good here. And if you're wondering, this ring, this is my hub ring. If you have the same type of 203s Eagle alloy wheels like I do, you want to get a 93.1 millimeter to a 108 millimeter. That's gonna center your wheel in place, and that way you won't be relying on just the lug nuts. So just a quick tip for you guys. But yeah, everything here is looking good. Let's put the wheel back on. And there's the wheel back on. Again, we have our hub ring nice and clean. This actually makes the inside look a lot cleaner. But yeah, it's looking good. We can see our caliper there, and you're not gonna see it that well anyways with these wheels. The wheels definitely take the attention compared to the calipers, but it's one of those nice things where like we have it there, it's nice, clean, and if we get a different set of wheels, then we might be able to see it better. All right, guys, I am back in the house. So I went to take it out for a drive, make sure I did some braking, you know, get it up to speed, brake, and do it a couple times and whatever. And I am sweating. It is super hot down here in Houston. I think it's like 10 p.m. and it's still like 100 degrees over here. So the truck doesn't have AC. That's one of the things I should add to it. Outside of that, though, it seems like everything's good. We were riding good. We're not sticking anywhere. The brake pad wear, I think I need to do a little bit more braking on it. I definitely don't think I got it up to speed enough times to do that. Some of the roads back here, I really don't have space to do that. So I might have to take a trip somewhere where I can actually get up to speed, slam on the brakes, and not actually disturb anyone else around me. But outside of that, though, we're looking good. I'll put a shot here from the gas station, went out there and fill up with some gas. One thing though that became apparent that I need to do, and I know I've been planning to do this anyways, is that my carburetor needs to be either rebuilt and adjusted, or at the very least adjusted. But I think I'm gonna rebuild it. Basically the idling, it is super bad. Sometimes I'm idling perfect, sometimes it just drops and wants to kind of shut off, so I have to keep stepping on the accelerator. So again, I'm just gonna probably rebuild the whole carburetor and then adjust that later on. But outside of that though, we're looking good. Truck's looking great. Garage is looking pretty good as far as everything is concerned. And if you guys stuck around, watched this whole video, thank you so much. We got more stuff coming up for the truck. I also have another set of wheels back there that hopefully will be coming to the truck soon. I've been having these wheels actually since December, but I barely got around to putting some tires on them and everything, so I'm excited for them. I think it's gonna look good. It's gonna make the truck look awesome. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.